Before I started Lovin' London, I always liked trying out cool new places and things to do around the city, and also recommending all these cool little things that I find to family and friends around London. But now that I have over 75,000 of you in this Lovin' London community, you guys are kind of relying on me to help you to experience the best of the city and not waste any time or money. So I'm gonna show you my process of how I research new places and things to try out and test, and how I end up choosing what goes into my guide, specifically the local guide to London. Step 1, research. I spend at least an hour each and every day researching cool new places that I can go and test in London. I do this a variety of different ways. Sometimes I'm on Instagram and I get tips from my local London friends that I follow. I often am reading email newsletters that come through to me about new openings. I look across the internet and read blog posts about places that are really cool to check out. But probably the best way that I get my intel is I literally ask Londoners all the time about some of the best places that they love around the city, no matter how quirky or unique, and I write everything down. Step 2 is to add all of these places to my London map. I have a rough list of everything that I want to try and put it onto my Grand London map. This map ends up being on my phone, so anytime that I'm out and about in London, I can just whip it out, and when I need a place to eat, I don't have to revert back to a place I've already tried. I can find something on the map, look at what's around me, and be reminded, oh yeah, there's that place around here. I really wanted to try it out. Essentially, how this map is set up for me is exactly how the digital map that comes with the local guide to London works for you as well, so you can do the same thing. Step 3 is to test. I test loads of places of all different types, whether it be restaurants, drinking spots, things to do, museums, entertainment, all stuff like that. When I'm testing someplace, I take notes of what I like and what I don't like, and also little hidden tips that I think that you should know, such as a special dish that you should order, or if there's like a cute little back garden behind a museum. I always like to add those little bits into my guides because I feel like that just adds to the experience even more. I end up spending about 25 to 200 pounds per week testing things, and I'd say probably less than 50% of the places that I test actually make it up into the guides. But I figure essentially if I can save you from one bad museum visit or one bad meal, that I've done my job as a London expert, and you've essentially paid yourself back for the price that you paid for the guide. Step 4 is to curate. Now, the local guide to London has a load of recommendations in it, like so many that it would take you a good few months to really get through all of them. However, I do try to keep it as much of a curated list as possible. I know most of the people who get the local guide to London are visitors, and you have a certain amount of restricted time and meals and energy to be able to experience London, so I only want to recommend the stuff that I'm really excited about. So when it comes time to update the local guide to London, like I've been doing the last couple of weeks, I essentially go through and put in the best of the new things I've discovered in the last few months or the last year. And I also do a bit of a cull through everything that is in the guide from the previous year, because sometimes I go back and have repeat visits and I'm not really keen on the service I got, or things closed, or there's just stuff that I just think there are much better recommendations for it in the guide now, and I've discovered better places, so I take all that stuff out as well. Step 5, share the details. Each summary of every one of the recommendations in the guide is pretty carefully thought out by myself. I usually research the menu, I refresh myself from my notes that I've taken, and then I put together a good summary of what you can expect if you visit this specific place. For example, there's this cool clothing shop on Portobello Road called Rag Yard, and the last time that I went in there, I got talking with one of the staff members, and he was telling me that the one-of-a-kind, one-off pieces usually arrive to the shop on Thursday and they're gone by the weekend. So I went through my notes and was able to remember that that was a thing, and then I put that little tidbit into the blurb for Rag Yard. I literally love when I get little tips like that, so I love passing them on to you. Just think it makes it so much better. Step 6 is just add Sandy's recommendations. So this year for the 2018 guide, I took some feedback on from people who got the 2017 one, and I needed to fill in North London a little bit more. I don't particularly know that area super well, so I enlisted Sandy from the YouTube channel Sandy Makes Sense. She knows North London super well, so she's actually given me a bunch of recommendations to put into the guide so you can find yourself some good food, drink, and entertainment spots more up north near like Camden area. Thanks, girl, for helping us out on that one. Step 7 is to add everything all to the digital map. This is my favorite part because I feel like the digital map is not really something you can get anywhere else. It's something that I personally use every single day, so it really excites me, and I know it's going to be helpful for you. Also this year, I've added some major public toilets, so if you're like me and you have to pee every 5 seconds, you will be able to know if there's a public toilet in your area that you can run to. I did this for the 3-day London itinerary, and I have had such great feedback on it, so I figured I gotta put it in the local guide to London too. Step 8 is to share it with you, and that is the absolute best part. So if you want to save yourself a ton of research time, you want to make sure you're spending your money wisely when you're here and you're not wasting your time on crappy meals and weird, not so good experiences, then make sure you check out the local guide to London. You can do that by clicking the card that's popping up here or the link down in the description for more information. If you want some helpful tips for your visit to London, then make sure you watch one of the videos that's popping up here, and I will see you in the next video.